Nothing new on Barsh. Will is going to have his left knee scoped tomorrow in Cleveland, and hopefully it's a pretty quick timeline. He should be ready for spring training.
Have you spoken to him? How's he feeling about all this?
He's all right. Yeah, I mean, I talked to him before we left, and I'll talk to him again later today. But I think he's probably a little bit relieved that he's getting this taken care of now, and I think him just understanding from us, the organization, kind of how he's viewed and the way he played and kind of what we're looking for him going into the offseason into next year. So he showed really well, and he's a guy we're confident in, and rightfully so.
Speaking of a guy you're confident in, Bowden out here once again. I'm curious about how his personality allows him to kind of go deep into games. It doesn't look like he panics a whole lot.
That's a really good assessment of him, I think. He puts himself, I think, in the right mindset to do what he does. And it's been really nice to watch him over the past month and a half or so be in those situations, get out of those situations, limit damage in some situations, and that's just the growth of a starting pitcher. But I think that he fits that mold really well. He doesn't panic, understands how to be present with every situation. So kind of a cool meeting point of stuff and mentality is kind of what you're seeing right now.
He credited Brian Servin for much of his success, or equally with his success. How do you think he will be working with Kirky behind the plate? And because there's a familiarity, do you think there'll be an easier transition?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think, and Serv did a great job with Bowden, and that happens sometimes where, where a pitcher and catcher kind of just, they have a good vibe back and forth. But have all the confidence in the world in him, throwing a Kirky or Heineman. Really, with his stuff right now, anyone who has been here, will be here. He could throw to anyone right now, I think, with the way his stuff is playing. So it's will be a little bit different, yeah. But Kirky's done a great job with all of our pitchers, and a lot of the credit has to go to Bowden as well with how he prepares and how he's executing.
John, with Wagner, will he be able to have much of a normal offseason? Like, is this just a few weeks off his feet?
I think so, yeah. I think it'll be, about a month off his feet. It was just a general scope of his left knee, nothing crazy with any ligaments or anything like that. So hopefully it's a few weeks off his feet and he kind of ramps back up and fully expected to be ready for spring.
When we go into spring next year, I know that's getting down the line a bit, but are you viewing him as a guy that's pretty strictly at second base, or is he another guy who can move around?
We'll see. I think that he can play first. We kind of dabbled at third a little bit in Buffalo, and we like what we see at second. I think that he's got a really good game for that spot. And there's a fine line between, the versatility aspect, which we do value, and keeping a guy regular at a certain spot. But I can see him getting a lot of reps at second.
What have you learned about his offensive profile compared to the reports when he came here?
It was pretty similar to what we had thought in terms of how he commanded the zone, the line drives kind of to all fields. I think there's more power in there too. I think his knee was probably playing a little bit of a part in the lack of power, but he's always hit the ball hard. So everything that we were kind of expecting, we kind of saw in real time here, and I think there's a lot of room to get better from a power aspect, and probably how he's moving on defense too after the knee gets taken care of.
With Wagner now sidelined, obviously, what does that mean for second base for you guys? Who's leading the way in that mix?
I mean, I think it'll be a combination of Leo, Schneider, Ernie can go over there. Spence has been over there too. I think it could be any of those guys. I think with Bo being back now too, it kind of frees up Leo to get over there a little bit, and I think you'll continue to see Davis there, kind of in that order, with keeping Ernie at third and short, and Spence if we need him at second too.
More as like if you need him, or is that part of the plan for Spencer to get in there?
I think just wanting to get the work, continue to get the work in there, and if the opportunity comes to get in there, in a game, yeah, and then see where the offseason takes us and kind of how we land with personnel, and go from there.
With Dillon Tate, what's the thought there?
A guy that we've seen a lot of, obviously in Baltimore, and a guy that's done fairly well in this division. And a guy that you're looking, a lot of these guys you're looking not just kind of forefront and the last 2 weeks of the year, but what can they do next year? I think with Dillon coming off an injury, obviously, and still kind of building back up, when he's right, I mean, he's pitched leverage innings in the AL East. That's hard to come by. And I'm excited to add him and see him in a few games here. But I think the thought is really good track record and understands how to pitch in late innings in this division.
How's it make you feel to see Bowden back in second and getting into the lineup?
It's nice, it's kind of, I said it, I think going back to like May, perfect world, you just go George, Bo, Vlad, and everything works out great, so it's nice, you kind of forget that he's such a presence and he's such a damn good hitter when you don't have him for so long. But it is nice to have him back there, and it was cool to have him back yesterday.
Did he come out of the game fine?
Yeah, I was kind of joking with him on my 9th pitching change out there. It felt like picked a good day for you to be out there for 3 hours, but he was feeling good. Felt good after, felt good today. So roll him out there again.